Hi there and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. I'm Christy Pick and today we are talking all about the game of Risk. Now we're talking about this for a very good cause. It is all for the Medicine Hat Santa Claus Fund to help out local families and kids have a wonderful holiday season this year. Now I'm going to get this game set up because later on in the show Jace Anderson is going to join me and we're actually going to play a game of Risk and he's going to tell me all about a Risk tournament that's coming up on December the 6th. So stay tuned for that and so much more here on Go Southern Alberta. Speaking of which, let's see what else we have coming up.
Certainly when you're kind of concerned about your child, you want to know right away what's happening and what can be done to help that child. And if we didn't have this equipment, they'd be referred to Calgary and have to be on some waiting list somewhere.
Have it in our reception gallery as well as the Yule family gallery. And one's kind of focused on 3D works and the other on 2D, and they'll be hanging their works in the walls here.
The Lions Club of Medicine Hat is sponsoring this event, and they're having 2 teams of horses to pull you around the park in their wagons.
Well, welcome back to the show. As I had mentioned earlier on, I'm talking with Jace Anderson today, and it's all about playing games for a good cause. Jace, thank you for joining us. In front of us here, the game of Risk.
Absolutely.
World domination.
Yes.
Why are we doing this?
We're doing this because on December the 6th, we get together at ABC Restaurant in their back room and we play the game of Risk. We invite as many people from the community that would like to join us. We set a bunch of tables out and it is a good time. And it's a fundraiser for a good cause. Okay,
so a fundraiser for a good cause, Santa Claus Fund. And
absolutely.
Right around the corner, Christmas time, we want to help out some kids and some families. So how did this whole thing get started? Because this is the 6th year of the Risk Tourney.
6th annual, we do the first Saturday in December every year. We've been doing it for a while now. We got together as some local game enthusiasts and wanted to get together and create a bit of an event or a happening around playing a board game. And what better game to pick than Risk? And it's not because it's my favorite. It's not because it's really anybody's absolute favorite game, but it's been around generationally that almost everybody we talk to is familiar with the name of the game and they're familiar with the basic concept. That's world domination. And so we're going to conquer poverty one game at a time this
All
Christmas.
Right. Now, it takes about a day to play Risk, depending on who's playing. When I conquer the world, I really want to conquer the world.
Absolutely.
But you have a time limit because you want to do the whole event in one day in a couple of rounds, right?
We do 2 rounds in about 6 hours, and so we modified the rule set a little bit. If somebody in their game wins the map inside of 3 hours, that's great. If not, though, we have a preset schedule of how to score, and somebody will emerge as the victor from round 1, and then the winners of those individual tables all step together and we set up a round 2, a finals round really quickly. We get going for another 3-hour session, break for dinner, and we're usually done around 8:30 on Saturday night.
All right, so Saturday, December the 6th. Anybody can enter the tournament. I understand that you actually will take people day of at the door?
Absolutely. So we have a website set up and people can visit that website and get a sense of how to register or reserve their seat at the table and those sorts of things. And the 2 things I'll say is this. We've had some very young folks come out and play, and so we're absolutely accommodating and welcome in that regard as well. 10 or 11-year-olds who've played before and would like to play in a somewhat competitive environment, they're invited. And the other thing is that every year we have at least one person who's never played Risk before at all.
Okay.
It's their first exposure to the game or the first time they've ever sort of rolled the dice. And so we're welcoming for that as well. It's not hyper-competitive. There's no cash prize at the end. There's an incredible amount of pride involved in being, the city's victor. But really, it's an opportunity to get together and raise some much-needed funds for the Santa Claus Fund right at one of their most critical times, which is just a couple of weeks before Christmas itself.
All right. Well, later on in the show, we're actually going to play the game. As you can see here, we are in a head-to-head battle. Jace is green. I am pink. Leanne is in Japan with blue. We'll see if she takes over the board. So stick around. We got a little more coming up here on Shaw TV. Well, we are ready to go head-to-head, go to battle here, Jace. Welcome back. We're playing Risk for a good cause. Again, it's a Risk tournament happening, a Risk tourney rather, happening December 6th, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, Jace, I figured since we're talking about this game, we should do a little battle.
Yes.
Because I would like to win on camera.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. Now, I brought the board because I also would very much like to have won on camera.
Okay, now I understand. Before we get started here, you have a lot of board games. You love board games.
I do. I spend a
You
little
have
bit
a
of time.
lot of Risk games.
I do. Yes.
How many?
My hope is to at some point have one of every edition or release.
Okay.
I'm probably sitting in the neighborhood of about 40
So you're
copies.
well on your way.
I'm well on my way.
And so you've played this a few times.
I have played this a few times.
Okay.
Not much more than the Risk Tourney every year, though, really. You know, again, it's an opportunity to get together and play a game that I wouldn't play much otherwise.
Okay, now looking at the board, if you're planning on taking part in the Risk Tourney, maybe don't take a history lesson from it because Alberta never actually
Alberta, Ontario,
held
and Quebec.
BC.
Yeah.
So not historically accurate.
And really, every version or iteration of the board is going to be somewhat different of the traditional world map of Risk. They're all a little bit unique, and their lines are designed just to make it competitive.
Okay, so we're going to do battle here around the Middle East. I have my armies at the ready here in Afghanistan and in India. You're already in the Middle East, and we're going to try and sort this out.
All right, well,
I want to be prepared.
it's on, Medicine Hat. Here we go.
I'm never playing Risk with Jay Sanderson again.
The Middle East is just a really nice place to visit.
Okay. Well, Jace, again, tell me, how can people get involved with Risk Tourney?
Very simple. Check online, gameforgood.ca. We've got an online registration opportunity there. They can reserve their seat at one of the boards we set up. We've always welcomed people who walk in. So it's 2 p.m., December the 6th, which is a Saturday afternoon, and we're going to be located at ABC Country Restaurant.
All right, in the back room?
In the back room, in the private
back
space
room.
there, absolutely.
All right, well, once again, all the funds raised are going to the Medicine Hat Santa Claus Fund, helping out families and kids during this great holiday season. So stay tuned, and let's see what else we have coming up on the show later on. So,
Defender wins. I lose that
and
one. And then 1-1, yep.
okay.
And we're back to see if I can finally beat Jay Sanderson at Risk and conquer the world.
Oh! Okay, here's where I put up the fight. Here's
Okay.
where I put up the fight.
Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready for you.
This guy? Ready?
I'm prepared.
New die.
All right, well, let's get that out of there. And look at that. I have now won Alberta. I would say world domination is conquering the homeland. I've won.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Jace. Hey, thank you for playing the game with me. Thank you for teaching me the game, because I've never actually played a full game of Risk before.
Awesome.
This is fantastic.
Awesome.
December 6th, one more time. You're at Risk Tourney, back room of ABC Country Restaurant, right?
Sure is.
All right. If you want some more information on that, of course, you can head online. While you're online, we are on there as well. Facebook.com, Shaw TV Medicine Hat. We're also on Twitter at Shaw TV The Hat. If you have anything like this coming up, an event, any sort of story idea or anything like that, we'd love to hear from you. Of course, we can get that out to our community members. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Shaw TV. And who knows, maybe I'll conquer the world again. See you later. Talking with Jay Sanderson all about, what did you say?
We're not fighting to make the world safe for cheese dip. That's a completely different topic entirely, but I will call you with that press release as well.